Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with a super fun project that goes with our box that we just made on Wednesday. This box was for a pack of score tape, so we could kind of just jazz up a crafty gift to add to our swats for crafty people. Also, you can use this box for your craft fairs, your teacher's gifts, Secret Santas, whatever. It'll fit a lot of different things in there. This box is 5x5. If you want the tutorial for this super cute box, go back to Wednesday. It is the Boxed Lunch series. I will put the playlist down below. So this is called the score tape box. Now, I wanted to think of something that wasn't craft related to put in this box that you can use for upcoming craft fairs or Christmas gifts, grandparents gift, whatever. And guess what I came up with, guys? Guys, look at this baby mini album. How adorable is this? I love it. It's in and out of this box like nobody's business. Look at that. And this box is only a 1/2 inch wide or deep, or however you say that. Guys, I was super excited about this. And it's a funny story how this mini album came. David was playing a game on his little, whatever those game systems things are. And somebody said something about a layered book. Actually, it's a funny story. Like, he didn't say layered book. I thought he said layered booked, but it was a whole different thing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but that's where the inspiration came from. And I was like, a layered book. I can absolutely do a layered book. And then I said, wait a minute. This is only a 1/2 inch. How am I going to do a mini album with a spine that is less than 1/2 inch? Okay. That was the kind of the hardest part to do it, because typically I gravitate towards the hidden hinge methods. Actually, right now I'm loving the hidden hinge plus. Both are Kathy King paper phenomenon. But when I very first started crafting back in 2008, picture it, crafting 2008. I started with the Stack the Deck binding system, which was Laura Dennison, and she was following the paper trail. And Stack the Deck is super easy for beginners. So I was like, okay, I could do a Stack the Deck. And then I was like, what if my pages were the deck? Right? So those of you who know what Stack the Deck is, you still have to put your pocket pages on there, whatever. This is not pocket pages. My album is the deck. You'll understand that in a minute. Let me show you the album first, and then we'll go ahead and get in making it. Now, on Monday, I showed you guys my HP sprockets, and I printed out just a few little pictures that I want to put in here. These are the 2x3s with my HP sprocket. This was Corey's 21st birthday. My little sun chip is not a little sun chip anymore. But I thought this was a great paper for that. This is Authentique Dapper. I'm pretty sure it is discontinued. I've had this collection since 2016, I want to say. Yeah, I got it when I moved to Idaho, so 2016. And I've never used it. And you're going to see, you'll see, Wednesday was this project, today is this project, and you're going to see another very special mini album I made for someone with the same collection. But that will be October probably, because I want them to receive the album first. Anyway, so here's the mini. It has room for a full 3x4 pocket card, or if you have the 3x4 sprocket, you can just print out your pictures. And look, you can add a picture there. You can add 2 of these pictures here. You can do some little fun layouts with these small pictures. Obviously your 3x4. Let me cut a 3x4 cardstock so you can see. Okay, so here's your 3x4, which again is perfect. Your 3x4 pictures here, journaling. Your 4x4s are gonna fit in there perfectly as well. So obviously if you are making this project for yourself, you're gonna pick paper that your whole picture is not gonna cover up. So for this album, I would put my 2x3 because I wanna show that paper. Put your 3x4s. You can even do a little blocking like that, however you wanna do it. You know, just do a little down blocking. Anything like that would be super great. Okay, flip your page. This one, I have a flap down. Again, 3x4s, 2x3s, 4x4. A collage. Super fun, right? I absolutely love it. Love, love, love it. And then I'll have my other little picture here. Maybe I want to journal, you know, Corey's 21st birthday. We were in Florida. This was the sour worm something. I can't remember what it was. I wrote it down at the sugar factory, you know, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to do. And then here, again, we have, this is the middle page. So we have the double layout, which turns into a 4-page layout. Right? Guys, look at that. How funny would that be? So this was Corey after he was lit. he was feeling good. He wasn't drunk, but he was feeling good. So I was going to write, you know, how it started, how it ended. He didn't do anything crazy. Corey's not an irresponsible child. We kind of wanted him to be, you know, a little crazy. But no, he's very responsible. So he just kind of sat there and listened to music and stuff like that. Like he wasn't rowdy or anything like that. So, which is a good thing. But, you know, we kind of wanted funny pictures. But if you have different paper, how fun would this be for like the first birthday? You know, like when you have the picture of them all nice and clean in their little my first birthday bib. And then you have them down here after they put their face in the cake. Or, you know what I mean? Like anything like that. That'd be super fun for this layout. Okay. Then we're going to flip and another little flap here. Flip again. And then we have the same as the front. We have the 3x4. Well, this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you can put your cut aparts on there. Journal on the back. And then again with the pocket with some cut aparts. But the absolute super fun business with this book, look at that. I was so proud of myself with this. Look at this layout. You can tell that whole story from beginning to end with your little pictures, your big pictures. You know what I mean? Like your journaling. Look at this. I absolutely love it. Love, love, love it. And simple, flip, 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 and flip. Right? Guys, I was super excited about this little guy and the possibilities. Change the paper up. Have one on display at your booth if you're doing craft fairs so people can kind of see what you can do with it, right? Let's make it. Okay, so all the measurements are down in the description box. Hopefully you already cut your paper. If not, you can cut along. So our first page is going to be 4.5 by something. So 4.5 by 9 3/8. So 9, 1 and 3. Now you could probably do it by 9.5. But I did not want any tension of my book going in and out of this box. And for those of you who love the noises like I do, let's hear it again. No tension, right? So that's why I did 3/8. So 4.5 by 9 3/8. We'll score all of them at the same time. Our next page is going to be 4.5 by 9.25. Hold on. As you can see, I'm using 12 by 12 paper. And matter of fact, I'm just going to cut this whole page down. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so 4.5 by 9.25. And then our last page is 4.5 by 9.125. Now you can score as you're going along. I just don't know where my score blade is at the second, so I'm going to cut this out first and then I'll score. 9.125. Label them 1, 2, and 3 if you have to, or just stack them up. Okay, here's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I had to find my score blade. All right, on your first piece that is 4.5 by 9.375, we are going to score that at 4.5. I mistyped on here on my copy, so I'm definitely gonna make sure I change that. Okay, and then we are going to completely rotate it and score it at 4.5 again. Okay. That's going to be your easiest, especially with the 3/8 measurement, because otherwise you'll have to score it at 4.5 and 4 7/8, which that's not a hard measurement, but for me it was easier, especially when we get to these smaller ones, just to flip and flip. So you're going to take your next one and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to score it at 4.5. You're going to flip it over and score it at 4.5. That should leave you 1/4 inch in the middle there. Okay, last one, same thing. Score it at 4.5. Flip it. Score it at 4.5. Super easy, right? That's it. Those are our pages. Guys, that's it. Your flips and flats are coming up next, but right now let's go ahead and work on our pages. The biggest one first, this thing, bone folder. Making sure, you know, your score lines are good. Okay. Next one, your 1/4 inch. And here we go. Next one, your 1/8 inch. If you don't varnish, you're gonna know about it. Especially with this little 1/8 inch. So I know 1/8 inch is a hard one to work with, but it is well worth it in the end. Okay, there we go. Right, score tape and or glue. I'm gonna use score tape just because that's easier for me. I'm gonna get my 1/4 inch and my 1/8 inch. Glue would probably be easier, but I have zero patience, so I don't want to have to wait for it to dry. So score tape it is. I'm going to put this right in the middle. Oh, now I find this. Okay. Varnish it down. Peel it up. I'm very comfortable with score tape, so that's why for me this is easier. For you, you may want to glue so you can wiggle it around. Line these up. They should line up perfectly on the edge. I have a shadow I can't see, so if my head's in frame, I'm sorry. Because they are the same length, just make sure it's in the middle. Pop it down. Okay. Now your book is going to be off on the sides. It's supposed to be like that, okay? See how the middle page is slightly shorter? It's supposed to be like that. And then your last piece, wherever I put mine. Wow. Oh, I folded it. It's right here. This is your little 1/8 of an inch, so I'm going to use my 1/8 of an inch. Put it right in the middle. Oops. Got a little wonky there. That's fine. Varnish it in. Peel it off. Lay it down. Kind of line it up in the middle if you can, as best as you can. It's very forgiving, so if it's not in the middle, who cares? Press it in. Fold your book back and forth. Oh man, I had overhang. All right, so here you go. Here is your book. So because I couldn't see where I was sticking mine is not exactly in the middle and it's kind of off of the tape a little bit. But do take your time and post those in there. This is not going to bother me to see this tape because we're going to cover it, but or you can always just erase it if you want to with the eraser. But mine, like I said, was just because I couldn't see. But we're going to cover it with paper anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, so all of our excess paper is going to be used for our pockets, and then you can use your other scraps for your flaps. All right, so pockets. Our pockets are 2 1/4 by 5 3/8. So I'm just going to use this one. 3/8 is the mark before the half. So 2 1/4. Right. Yep. And then 5 3/8. I like to make my pocket slightly smaller than my page just so I know it's not going to mess with my my hinge. All right, now we're gonna score it on the short side, 1/2 inch, and on both sides of the long side, 1/2 inch. You're making a pocket, so 3 sides need to be scored, like so. Okay, do the same to your other piece because we're just gonna do our double pockets right now. Rotate and rotate. Okay, both of our pockets. Let's go ahead and cut our flaps. So we have 2 different size flaps that we need. Right now we're going to cut these little guys here, okay? So you need 2 of those. So those measure, flaps page 2 and 9, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So this is, this is just under 3 1/4. I'm okay with that. So 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. You need 2 of those. And you're going to score it a 1/2 inch on the long side. So there's my 1/2 inch and then my 1/2 inch. Okay, so these are your flaps for page 2 and 9. You can number these, but I think you'll know what goes with what. Obviously these are pockets, these are smaller flaps. Now you need your big flaps. This is where you need to grab your scrap pile. So here's my scrap of this cardstock. And you need 4 flaps that are 4 3/8 by 4 3/4. So let's see. So you're just going to measure out your scraps and just go from there. Let me find some scraps. All right, so I didn't have any scraps big enough, so here we go. What did I say? Let me get my cheat sheet back up. 4 3/8 by 4 3/4. 1, 3. Okay, you need 4 of those. So that's 4 3/8 by 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Three. Okay, so 3 pieces at 4 3/8 by 4 1/4. You're going to score on the long side at 1/2 inch, which I don't know which one's the long size now. So get your ruler. I had them right. And you're going to score on the long side. So put the 4 3/4 at the top. Score it 1/2 inch, and you're going to do the same to all of them, making sure you're on the right side. Okay, there we go. All of mine are scored. 1, 2, 3. Girlfriend, I knew I needed 4 too, and I only cut 3. Let me cut another one. I just wasted paper because I could have cut 2 out at the same time. Oh well. It's okay. We all make mistakes. It's not like the paper can't be used for something else, right? All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ooh, okay. So now we're going to go ahead and tape up everything. This is how I do it. I cut everything first, and then I tape, and then I layer. Okay, so tape. You're going to put your tape on your dented side. For those of you who watch Kathy King's tutorials, she always tells you to put the tape on the dented or bumpy side. And for the longest time, I thought she was talking about the texture of the paper. Okay, so I would be like, why would I care if the texture of the paper is bumpy or dented? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never understood what she was saying until I really paid attention one time. And what she's talking about, and you guys are going to laugh at me so hard. She's talking about that when you do your score line, this is the indented side, and this is the bumpy side. So this is like the side is pushed in, and this is the side that's raised up. That's what we're talking about. So guys, I thought she was talking about the paper texture, but she was talking about the daggone score line. So yes, it is important because when you fold where the bumpy side is going to be on the inside. So depending on if you're going to attach your flap on the top like this, then you want to put your tape on the dented side. If you're going to attach your flap inside like this. Then you want to put your tape on the bumpy side. Okay, that's what she was on about. So yeah, once I figured that out, I felt some type of way, but you know, we're all learning, and the light bulb comes on at different times. Mine just took years. So anyway, now I'm taping up my pockets. Now, you can glue all of this if you are a wet glue person. I am a wet glue person as well. However, I'm very impatient. So I want these flaps and flips and pockets down, and I don't want to have to wait the 32 seconds for my glue to dry. Okay. That's honestly the difference. Also, when you use score tape, if you make a boo-boo and put it in the wrong place, you can use undo, which is like liquid magic, and pull it up. Undo does not work on glue. It only works on tape. It's actually like a, just a sticky remover, like to remove stickers off of glasses and stuff. But it removes the tape from your cardstock, and it dries on your cardstock perfectly, and your tape is still sticky. So you don't have to waste anything. So there you go. Now you can decide if you want your corners to be rounded or square or whatever. I rounded mine, so I just took my corner rounder, the 1/4 inch. I lined it up, and I corner chomped. Now, my corner rounder is almost 10 years old, and it's on its way out. So I cannot do multiple pages, because before I just would have did all of these and called it done. But since mine is on its way out, and I can't do multiple pages, I can only do one. I did cut a whole bunch of like aluminum foil to make it sharp again, but I think it's this spring inside that's going, which, like I said, I've used it a lot in 10 years, so definitely got my money's worth. So I just need to buy another one when I get back to the States. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and round all my corners. I'm trying to do 2. It's coming out a little raggedy. So here's the other thing you need to decide as well. If you just want your ends rounded, then obviously we're just gonna round our ends. Or if you want the whole thing rounded. So for this one, I rounded all 4 corners because I was going to put the flap down at the bottom, like so. And then I changed directions, so I went this way. And then I was like, whoa, I kind of like these corners rounded too. So this one I put down, I had only rounded the 2 sides, and then I decided I want to round the other 2. So it looks good either way, whether you have your flat edge, since we're putting it in the middle on the flat edge, so you can have a point and a point, or if you want to round it. Now, I'm not going to lie, one of them was rounded, the other one was not. So I had to peel it up a little bit and then round all of it. So whatever you do to one, do to all of them. Let me see, I have one in here that I didn't do to all of them. Here we go. So this one only has 3 rounded corners. That one's a point. I just forgot to round it. Same thing with this one. It has 3 rounded corners. So if you want all your corners rounded, you want some of your corners rounded. Why is my pocket not pocketing? However you want to do it. Okay. So if you want your corners rounded, all of them, it's easier to go ahead and round it with the tape on, the tape backing on. But to be honest, I took my tape backing off and I still rounded it, and that's probably why my corner rounder is, you know, starting to go up. Well, plus it's 10 years old, but I abuse it. Just cut off the overhang. I am going to round all of my corners on all of my whatchamacallits, my flaps. You're definitely going to varnish your folds. You're going to cut off any overhang with the tape. Normally I just smush it on there, but I cut it off so I can not have to clean out my corner rounder. Okay, one more. I will varnish these after I'm done. Okay, now with my pockets, I will corner round the pockets. I will do that as well. Okay. Oh my gosh, one more. This is the most tedious part. So you may choose not to corner round. Or if your corner rounder is still a spring chicken, then you can do all of your flaps at the same time. Alright, so my pockets, you're going to have to wait until you build the pocket to corner round. So, yeah. Right. Pockets. Let's go varnish it in. Varnish it in. And varnish. And miter. You're going to come right across that X on both sides. We're going to do the same thing. Varnish. Varnish. And varnish. Not only is this varnishing your creases, it's also varnishing your tape into there. Here's that X. So you can see it on the back a little better than the front. We're just cutting right across it. Okay. All right. Some people like to miter before they put their tape on. I'm okay with wasting this tiny little bit of tape. I'm not bothered by that. Our pockets, you're going to make sure that there's no overhang. If there is, or no overlapping, excuse me, cut off a little bit more because we don't want our pockets to overlap each other because it just creates unnecessary bulk. Okay. This one has an overhang as well. So I'm just cutting off a little bit more. And that one's good to go. Okay. At this point is where I'm going to round my pockets. Now I'm not going to round both sides. I'm only going to round the corner that needs to go in the corner. The corner that needs to go in the corner. Anyway, so I'm going to round my bottom left for this one. And then obviously we have a pocket in the back, so we need to do the bottom right. I would suggest not putting your paper on because if you corner punch the wrong side and it's just cardstock, you can mix and match, right? If you have your paper on, it may be a directional problem. I don't know. Or if you mess up, punch both of them and both of your sides are just going to be rounded. You know, don't stress. All right, so let's take out our book here and we are going to open it to the inside. Okay, I had to answer that. Anyway, so here's our book. It's inside cover. Look, I was about to put the wrong one on there. This just goes in here. Now, for me, I don't mat all the way down when I do my pockets. I just don't find it necessary because you're going to cover up that paper anyway. And I like the gap between the pocket and the top page. So when you're matting, that's going to be up to you. If you like your page to go all the way down, Obviously you need a mat now before you put your pocket down, but I don't need to. So score tape off, backing off, make sure there's no overhang. And it should fit right in between the edge and the score line, okay? Mine does not go all the way to the score line. It does not go all the way to the edge. It's right in between because I don't want anything to mess with the functionality of the book, okay? Now we're gonna flip it over to the back cover and we're going to do the same exact thing. Take our score tape off, off, and we're gonna go ahead and lay it down, making sure it's not hanging over and it's not at our score line. Okay, so far so good. We're gonna go back to the front and we're gonna lay our piece here. This is gonna be, I think this is technically page 1, I think I called it. Let me see what I called it on the guide. Flaps page 209. Okay, so I guess this is page 2 and page 9. So you can put your flap wherever you want. I felt first I was going to put it on the bottom like that, and then I was going to put it on the top, and then I don't know. I decided the middle was perfect. Compromise, right? So I have to turn my book the other way. So I put mine directly in the middle. Varnish that down. Varnish that score line that I didn't varnish before. Perfect. Go to the back of the book. Do the same thing. Okay, here we go. I have to turn my book. It's my comfortability. And here we go. I don't like putting anything on the edge, and so mine has a tiny little 1/16 of an inch gap between the edge and the flap. Usually I do it, an 1/8 of an inch, so that way you can see the paper, but this time I just did a little 1/16 of an inch. It doesn't matter. All right, going back to the front, page 1, page 2, page 3. So we have our flap going on the bottom. Take my flap. Again, if you are not comfortable with score tape, rub some, on it? Glue stick. Just your run-of-the-mill glue stick so you can line this up perfectly and have that little wiggle room. Here's my flap down. Okay, skip this page, flip. This is the center of the book, so you have your flap going up and your flap coming down. Let me get the glue stick so I can show you what I'm on about. Okay, regular old glue stick. Take your flap. Let me varnish this one. Peel off your score tape backing. Take your glue stick. Wait, make sure there's no overhang. Rub your glue stick over that score tape, and so it gives you that extra minute or two. Like if I would have set that down in the wrong thing, like this is supposed to be the top. If I would have sat this on the bottom, watch. So see, I did that, but because it has the glue stick, I can just pick it right up. You have a little extra time. I have to do mine upside down, so I'm doing mine upside down. This is the top I'm actually putting this on. I know it looks like the bottom, but mine is upside down. Making sure I don't go anywhere near that score line and I'm not over the edge. Okay? And now you're just going to varnish it, and the glue stick will dry on top of that score tape, so you have double adhesive. And you have that extra wiggle room. But once you get confident with the score tape, or you're the one making up the book, you don't necessarily need your glue stick anymore. It's just a little comfort tool. All right, so I'm putting this one. See how I laid that wrong? But I still had the opportunity to peel it off without tearing anything. No, it's too close. See, when I have the glue stick, I overthink. When I only have one shot, I don't overthink. All right, so making sure, girlfriend. Okay. I don't know why. That's just how my brain works. Okay. Glue stick away. All right, so, okay, flip the page, and we have our flap over here on the right. Again, I'm gonna flip my book upside down. I work better when it's upside down. See, when I don't have the glue stick, how fast. Now, in the beginning, when I needed the glue stick, when I was not comfortable with score tape one chance, I was super fast with it. But now that I am comfortable with score tape, I'm super slow with the glue stick. I don't know. How our brain works is weird. And that, my friends, is your album. So we still have our same 4-page flip outs, if you will. We have our little flap-a-doo, we have our pockets. Now it's just all about how you decorate. That's it. Super easy. Make the box with it. I will put the whole playlist and the specific link for the box, so that way you don't have to look for everything separate. But again, see, I'm rough with my supplies. That was my computer mouse. Like a bull in a china shop. That's why I have to get quality stuff. There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.